Hey everyone, and welcome to the Defining Your Life podcast, where we focus on living in our purpose, practicing presence, and activating our power in each moment. I'm Marsharelle, your resident pep talk provider, and I invite you to join me as we continue to learn, lift each other up, and strive to level up together. Because we are never finished defining our lives, and it takes a village, so let's build one. Stay tuned for the episode. Hey everyone, I hope that your week is going well. And thanks to those of you who sent kind words to me after listening to my chat with my daughter Kennedy last week. I have to admit that I was very shocked that she agreed to come on the pod at all. She really was just playing around, said, she wanted to hop in and say, hey. And I said, do you want to be on the pod? So, she's usually pretty reserved, but it was really a treat to see her show up in this way. Parenting a teen to me has felt like becoming a new parent all over again. Teens are such different beings, for lack of a better term. You see your children's personalities from infancy, but encountering them as a teen is really unique. And what I find interesting is that of all the parents I've ever talked to who have progressed beyond this stage, they are all telling the same story, right? On some level, anyway. The experience, although it may be different, is the same. And so sometimes it can be challenging getting to know and understand a human being who is really trying to just discover who they are, because we don't even really understand ourselves half the time, right? And so this is really just a reminder to have compassion and extend grace to both the teen in your life and yourself as you're navigating this new plane together. So someone once said to me about raising children that the days are long, but the years are short. So whenever I am struggling to figure it all out or feeling overwhelmed, I remember that this too shall pass, and there will be new terrain to explore with and without my children. So I just want to embrace the time, learn what I can, right? If you are a parent or if you nurture young people in your life in any capacity, you recognize that there's just so much to learn from those interactions. But just appreciate what you can in every moment, even the challenging ones. And speaking of challenges, September is upon us. And that means getting back into those routines. And if you're fortunate enough, you'll find your flow. And if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about approaching your life as a project manager and the benefits of that. The topic seemed to resonate with quite a few of you. Thank you for sharing, by the way, but it really just made me want to double down on that a bit and share more about what I'm implementing in my life this coming month in hopes of getting in flow. So not too long ago, a couple of years at this point, I was in business with a friend. Hey, Shelly girl. But in a nutshell, we ran a mobile dining experience business where we curated intimate, interactive, in-home dinner parties and other cool experiences that were centered around food. We actually started out as a blog, encouraging folks to take back control in their kitchens, make cooking at home a standard practice that was not only fun, but felt special, achievable. A lot of folks feel like they can't do it, or they don't have the time, or aren't creative enough. You get the idea. I could go down a rabbit hole with that. But anyway, and always having that desire to engage with and empower our audience, we tried to think of ways to be in community with them. And of course, the ways in which we often engage them tended to be a reflection of what we were doing in our own lives. So one day, Shelly and I were talking, and we realized that we were eating out a lot. And that may sound, a little crazy given that we initially were empowering folks to take back control in their own kitchens. But by this point, we were cooking constantly, whether it was dinner parties, small catering gigs, classes, trying to come up with things for, social media posts. So not only were we tired, because and during this time we both still had full-time jobs as well. Um, you know, we really just enjoyed the reward of fine dining after putting in hours in someone else's kitchen. That is until we took a step back and not only looked at the cost, but also the high consumption of foods that probably weren't as high of a quality as the ones we would have prepared at home. Enter the September challenge, a commitment to cook every single meal at home that we ourselves and our families consumed. Cook it at home. Every single meal. Y'all, you want to talk about a challenge? That was it, okay? Now, there were a few exceptions. Your friend could invite you over for dinner. We did some meal exchange in that way. Or maybe you got a free lunch at work, company travel, stuff like that. But outside of that, every single meal had to be cooked at home, or, pre-purchased at a grocery store, and required some preparation. No lazy grab and go meals, no fancy brunches. And we love a good brunch, but just good old fashioned home cooking. This is getting a little long winded, but I had to paint the picture for y'all. For people that were used to eating out a few times a week and maybe, grabbing Chick-fil-A for lunch, or let me pick up a salad at a local restaurant or what have you, it was rough. And I bet you're wondering, how did we make out at the end of those 30 days? Well, I am pleased to report that the challenge was a success. Dare I say, an accomplishment. Okay. We saved a lot of money. We ate a lot of good food and we met a goal, but it didn't happen by chance. You know why I'm bringing this up, right? Of course, you know why. Implementing those project management skills. Without proper planning, success in that September challenge would not have been possible, because that required all the meal planning, all the meal prep, discipline, getting to the store, right? Allotting enough time to prepare meals. We even went to Hershey Park during that time. I packed breakfast sandwiches and I believe even like a lunch for us, something I would have never done going to an amusement park, but it was a great experience. Even when I think about it now, though, like I can hardly believe that I achieved it, right? But it serves as a reminder of what I can do, what I'm capable of. With faith, determination, and proper planning, I can do hard things that may seem pretty impossible. If you're thinking, Marsharelle, why are you making such a big deal about cooking at home every night? That's something small. It's nothing, right? But what's small to you may be giant to someone else. Maybe for you, you need to get to work on time every day, and that would be a challenge to do for 30 days. Or praying consistently might be a challenge for you. You're in and out, you're not putting in that time. I know it might seem like the go-to example, but working out, some form of intentional physical activity for 30 days, whatever your craft or business is, doing something to work on that every day for 30 days, right? Everyone's different, but we all have challenges and we need to challenge ourselves to meet said challenges head on. And so with that, I would like to invite you to join me in a new September challenge. What is something that you have been thinking about that you want to dedicate your energy toward accomplishing or improving upon? The September challenge can enable you to start a new healthy habit or shed one that isn't quite serving you. It can help you achieve a goal. By the end of September, we will have entered the fall season, and that season is like the season of shedding, right? How great would it be to shed our old approach and adopt this new approach way ahead of, new year, new me? You'll have a running start if you subscribe to resolutions. I've shared before that I don't believe in resolutions per se. I believe in starting when you feel moved to, but you don't have to wait until Monday or wait for the new year or wait until September 1st even. The time is now, whatever your thing is, your challenge. But if you like to set a milestone or what have you, take today and tomorrow to start making a plan so that when Friday, September 1st comes, you're ready to go. So, who is going to join me? I'm very excited to see all the things that we can accomplish in the month of September. If you need to be held accountable, send me an email or a DM. I'm your girl, resident pep talk provider, remember? As a reminder, here are a few guidelines that will help you on your path to success during the September challenge if you choose to join me. Number 1 is set your goal. 2, plan it out, right? Map out all of the details, account for the things that might throw you off track, and come up with some workarounds for those blockers. 3, you want to execute, right? Don't let your planning be in vain. Show up and use the framework that you've mapped out for yourself. You created that map and those guidelines for a reason, and that's to make this phase more achievable. So start each day reminding yourself that you got this and you can do it. And finally, close. See it through until the end. You deserve to see it through, right? And the ability to do so is a gift. And the final thing is celebrate. If you remember a while back, I had Jessica Hook on the podcast. And if you don't recall, she is a manifestation and abundance mindset coach for women. She recently reminded me of the practice of celebrating myself, and I want to pass it on to you. Find something about yourself to celebrate every day. In the case of the September challenge, it's easy, right? Every day that you stick to whatever your challenge is a reason to celebrate. I want to leave you with a quote from Karen Casey today. One part at a time, one day at a time, we can accomplish any goal we set for ourselves. Step by step, y'all. It only takes one brick at a time to build something grand and magnificent. Everything starts small, but if we stay committed enough, invested enough, disciplined enough, whatever it is won't stay small for long. So have a wonderful rest of your week. I can't wait to hear all about the different September challenges that are going to pop up. And speaking it aloud makes things real. So tell a trusted soul or maybe a supportive group of people in your life for a little extra motivation, encouragement, and accountability if that's what you need. I know that it can be scary or uncomfortable to share because we don't always want folk asking us about that thing we said we were going to do if we fall off and we ain't doing it. But it's okay, right? Do or share what feels comfortable, but don't sit too comfortable, if you know what I mean. My yoga teacher always says, find your edge. Anyway, thanks so much for listening today. If what you've heard was beneficial, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share the pod so we can grow. I can't wait to chat with you all again next week. Take care until then.